welcome everybody to our weekly podcast about your nerdy TV shows or nerdy information or nerdy news. This is I'm Mr. Also, and also you name Mr. Or sorry, my name is Jacob Martinez, also known as Mr. Also, and to my left is
I'm on the left.
yes, you're
This is
always
your
on the
boy
left.
Tez, also known your boy Tez, also known as Dark Morpheus ASMR. I just want to leave with saying, check the background. Big ups. Rest in peace. We lost a legend this week.
Yes, we
Big ups to
did.
the man DMX. Go stream all his stuff on any platform for his family. My man's he had 15 kids, so every little bit is appreciated.
Yeah,
So
that helps
shout out
out.
to that, and let's get into this.
Yep. And to my right,
I am Aaron, aka AVH313, or Phoenix underscore Force 313 on Twitter.
oh, that's good. All right. So, how was y'all weeks, man? Was it pretty interesting? Was it was did you were you guys surprised about this week or what's up?
Man, this episode was good. It's as far as my life, man. I'm planning a trip with my family. With That's a good thing,
Yeah.
taking my little girls to Disney and stuff. So that went well. As
Mm-hmm.
far as my personal life was great. Work life, I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, my personal life is going real good, and I'm excited. And I was excited for this weekend, especially after seeing this episode.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Well, Aaron, got any good news
Yeah,
to
things
share?
going well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my streaming setup's getting bigger. Well, it's not just streaming setup; it's also gaming eventually.
Right.
PC's come along great.
Right.
Work, like Tess said, I'm staying out of that portion. But I'm more excited about all the news that came out, not just Falcon and Winter Soldier, but the other big news and information that came out for various shows and
Oh, like
comics.
Powerpuff Girls? I mean, I got plenty of
Hey.
stuff for that.
Yeah, we can definitely get a little bit into that because there's a discussion to be had.
Okay.
There's a
Jojo,
discussion to be
Jojo.
had about that, and it might not even be what you think. There's a discussion to be had about Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Well, yeah. So, let's get it started then. I mean, that's the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4. That's what episode that we're on. Spoiler alert for anybody out there that hasn't seen it. We are about to talk about episode 4 of
From
Falcon Winter
top
Soldier,
to
to
bottom.
pop to bottom. So if you do
Okay,
not want to hear anything, please stop watching
Hit the
right
skip
now.
button.
right now, because
All right.
it's about to go
All
down.
right. All right. So last time we left off, they had found out that the leader of the flag smashers had blew up a building that they stole from, they killed people in, and they've found out where they were hiding at, or that actually there was going to be like a funeral for her, or for somebody that she had. Do you guys remember her name? The lady that died.
Oh,
Oh,
her adopted mother.
Mama, what's her name? Here, I'll find it in a second.
Okay. But yeah, she and they found out that she passed away, and that the leader of the Flag Smashers were going to be in this town. So last time we left off, they made it to the town, and then one of the Black Panthers soldiers caught up a Bucky.
Ayo,
Ayo, yep, caught up a Bucky and was like, "Well, um, we need him. You guys have him, and we don't know why you're working with him, but we want him." So start off in this episode. Went off a little bit of backstory with Ayo and Bucky, of how she helped him get out of the um, Hydra's mind
Yes.
control, and they just gave us a little bit of a backstory to say, hey, this is how this is how he got over it, and this is who helped him. Just just for a little bit of clarity there, and to say that they did have a past relationship of sorts. So she basically explained to him like, look, I don't know what you're doing, but we want him. And Bucky was like, well, he's with us because he's a means to an end. She was like, they don't care. They're gonna give him 8 hours to give him back, or to turn him over to them. So um yeah, I mean, this
that's what you get.
yeah, this episode was crazy because it went through a whole bunch of ups and downs, went through a bunch of psychological stuff, kind of touched on real world stuff too, about the 5 years of them, or the 5 years of the blip disappearing. They kind of gave the little backstory of why the villain was doing what she does, try to justify the reasons why she were doing things. They
Tanya.
yeah,
That's
because they were living amongst themselves and found homes for themselves for 5 years, but didn't expect the Avengers to bring everybody back. But as soon as everybody came back, they kicked them out of their houses, told them that they
Yeah.
didn't belong here anymore. But they're like, what? I mean, we had this. We were taking care of ourselves. But now that everybody comes back magically, I have to give everything back. So now they feel like they're refugees. They feel like they have to fight for everything that they had, or try to get back and try to fight the people that are against them. And that is really like a um the justification of for their evil. Falcon doesn't appreciate it, or actually nobody doesn't appreciate how they're doing it. But Falcon tries to go in and negotiate with them and have him or try to explain that he understands what they're going through. But your boy Walker comes in and messes up everything with his hot head.
You
So
talk about Walker,
yeah,
boy.
but yeah, so but nothing was really revealed much, at least in this episode with me. But only thing that was really revealed is the reason why they were really destroying stuff and defending themselves. But yes, but we did get a. I think the most of this episode is about to be about Captain America or Walker, period, because he had the most impact on this episode to me. So let's start with Walker. I mean,
So,
yeah.
let me just start by saying big ups to y'all because y'all called it.
Mhm.
Y'all said that he
Mhm.
would get a hold of some of that serum and
Mhm.
end up taking it. So
Mhm.
big ups to y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all called that off top.
Mhm.
Um, you cannot talk about Walker this episode without talking about the Doras.
Mhm.
Okay, Walker thought he was sweet. I'm gonna run up in y'all crib, y'all base, and tell y'all what's what. And
Yes.
then them Doras showed up, and
Mhm.
he talking back down to them, put the
Mhm.
pointy sticks up,
Mhm.
put the spears up. You know
Yeah.
what those are? Those are
Yes.
spears.
Those are spears.
Wakanda, you know who they are because
Mhm.
this is Wakanda. Wakanda's government now. Your government, you know who they are, and you just being a jerk. And you got your ass whooped
Yes.
by these two women,
Yes.
black sisters,
Yes.
regular women, not
Mm.
super soldiers. Now, granted, the Doors is elite, but
Mhm.
they not super soldiers.
Right.
And you in your feelings. Now, he even said they weren't even super soldiers.
Right.
And
My
now
thing
you
is
in your
too.
feelings.
Mhm.
He's the shield is made out of vibranium. Like he was gonna do something with that. It's like the vibranium is from their home, dude.
Right.
they ain't
That's
gonna do nothing.
they bread and butter. That's like, oh yeah, I could pick that up off the street at a vendor,
Mm.
you know. And then what's even better is my girl Ayo hit Bucky with the 5 point palm exploding heart
Yeah.
technique, made his arm drop off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And he was
Mhm.
hurt. I felt bad for Bucky because he didn't even want to fight. He like, this my friend. She helped my brainwashing, and she didn't really want to fight him neither. But she like, Wakanda, Doug.
Right.
It is what it is. You know what time it is. You spent
Mhm.
enough time there to know that I'm coming for him, and that's that. I gave you
Mhm.
your time, so it is what it is. But um, Wakanda showed out for the brief time that they was there.
Mhm.
They left a huge impact to the point that U.S. agent, because like I said, that boy, I'm never gonna call him that name. U.S. agent realized that he had to get a boost. He was he is officially now, I can say in my eyes at least, the antagonist of the show. Carly and the Flag Smashers are characters in the show who are doing something. you know, they were the antagonists up until this episode. The antagonist has now shifted, and it's about to get real
Yeah.
because
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I'm not gonna give him the antagonist role yet. I still feel it's going to be Zemo because his anti-hero regiment, and now Walker set himself up and got caught on camera doing what he did. Zemo's gonna snap. He already escaped him. He snapped, and he's gonna resume his superhero killing campaign.
I mean, yeah, he but that never but the thing is, it never. The thing about the difference between Walker and Zemo is we don't know nothing about Walker unless he tell us. We don't know his motivations. We don't know what he's capable of until today. We know he's capable of just flat out cold blooded murder. Zemo put his cards on the table from the beginning. I hate the idea of superheroes. I don't think they should exist.
Or
To
super
me, they are
soldiers.
supremacists,
Super
super
soldiers.
soldiers in
Yes.
particular. But he considered the Avengers super soldiers,
Mm.
regardless to your power, the type of powers you got. He said in his episode, I feel like people with superpowers are supremacists, and
Mhm.
I'm not with that. He put his
Mhm.
cards right on the table. He dumped at Carly like he was a Compton City G.
Mhm.
She really,
Yes. Yep.
oh,
Mhm.
and he said from day one, Now, granted, he's snaky how he do it, giving candy to kids and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, that
But
was weird.
it was weird, but it also was Zemo, because Zemo he fight with his brain first and foremost.
Mhm.
So he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get this information because once I help y'all don't need me no more. Y'all either gonna kill me or put me in jail.
Mhm.
So I need to keep something in my sleeve because if I just give you this information about the funeral right off top, then what motivation do you have to keep me around? Bucky and already threw my tea. Okay,
Mhm.
I thought Bucky was about to go in his grill at
Mhm.
that point. I really did. I
Yes.
thought he was about, but so Zemo is just being Zemo, man. Like he to me has been the most consistent character on this show since he got introduced on it because he hasn't changed anything about himself. He's still doing the same stuff he's been doing. I think he's starting to grow. Sam's growing on him, and he likes Sam, but it's not enough to change his mission.
To me, he's like Kingpin light, like Kingpin in another country.
I hear that.
Like if you watch Daredevil, like they have the same mannerisms, they have the same way that they talk, but their their stories, not their stories almost the same. I mean, kind of, but everything he, like if Kingpin worked with Daredevil, this is exactly how it will go down. He would use his power, he would use his influence to get all the information, but he would slide out like a snake whenever it's time for him to get caught or try to use his leverage to his advantage, which he tried with Bucky, but Bucky didn't allow it. I think Falcon's story right now is very interesting to me. I mean,
It
I
is.
don't want to change the subject because I want to go back to Walker, but this I want to bring up Falcon's story here because he is really in a tussle of who he is right now. He's really trying to help, but at the same time, he he's confused on which he knows which way he should go. Right? He's trying to be Steve. He's trying to be hold on to being as much as Steve as he can, but it's not working. Just because he's not in control of the situation, just like Steve was. Steve was never in control of the situation, ever. Everything got past him, and every time that he tried to get in control of the situation, something else happened. Only thing that he could do is be reactive to everything that happened, right? And that's why I guess they stuck with the name the Avengers. And um,
Yeah.
who was it? Tony Stark, brought it up. He was like, why are
Yeah.
we Avengers, right? Like, why are we always, yeah,
Pre-Avengers,
right, yeah,
right?
why are we always reacting to something? Why can't we always be ahead, right? Is in this Falcon and Winter Soldier is in the same route.
Yeah,
They're
and
we,
the same ideals. I like what you're saying. I
mm-hmm,
agree with it. The same ideals all the way since the first Avengers movies is still
mm-hmm,
what we're fighting against.
yeah,
Because Tony's said that he says, he said when he came back with the pre-Avengers and stuff. But back in the Avengers, if you remember, Steve said or not even the Avengers. I think it was Winter Soldier. He said anytime a war that you try to stop a war before fighting it before it starts, people die.
yes,
You know, and so he like, you gotta be because you can't try to preemptively do it because then you're the problem. You're the
right,
initiation. So it's that same conflict. And it's something that Battlestar said this episode that really, 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 and this is in relation to John, that's why I'm hopping on it,
mm-hmm,
hit home. He said, would you take the super soldier serum? And Battlestar was like, for sure. He's like, because it don't do nothing but elevate or enhance what's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he made the comparison between Carly, the Flag Smasher, and Steve Rogers. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm making the comparison between John and Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Steve was a hero before he took that serum.
Yes.
Okay. John apparently was not. And like he said, the serum only enhances what's already there. It
Mm-hmm.
don't turn you into a superhero, it just turns you into a person with enhanced abilities.
Yes.
Steve was hopping on grenades at 95 pounds,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you know.
He was
And
So
John
sacrificed
is
himself.
and John is by any means necessary gonna get the job done.
Yes.
So yeah, that's amped up by 10, regardless of the
but
situation
John
or the
and
consequences.
yeah, John, he also about respect. You gotta respect me because of my station. Not because of what I've done, but because of my station. I'm Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
I'm this military dude who's done. You gotta respect me because of that, not because I've shown you respect or not because I've gone out on the limb to protect you and your people just because of my name.
Mm-hmm.
Steve never cared about none of that. He didn't care about titles, none of that. He is a soldier side by side with everybody else he was fighting with. He just happened to be better at doing
Right.
it than them. So, John, about to be a problem for the next two episodes.
Mhm.
I think. I
It's
think. I think after what he did. Um. By the way, Battlestar is dead. Battlestar
Pour one
got
out for Battlestar.
killed. Huh?
Pour one out for Battlestar.
Yeah. Battlestar got punched in the chest and basically got it caved in. So
he got stink meaning.
she punched the crap out of him. Yeah.
You gotta respect. It was hilarious too. They were like kids playing at a playground when they asked them when they did. It's like, oh, we're gonna
Ooh.
stop
Right.
now.
Right. Right. So that
So
After that,
that put a red flag out in Walker's head. Like he saw red, right? He wanted to find her and kill her, but he found the
right
next
then,
best thing, her henchman, and he Captain America'd him the same. If you get a callback to what Captain America did to Iron Man at the end of Civil War, he had a choice. He had the shield up in his above his head. He had a choice to cut off his neck, but he didn't. He he smashed it into his power source on on his on Iron Man's chest to stop him from fighting. But no, Walker didn't do that. Walker caved dude's face in on the steps in front of everybody on camera, which is
what's
go ahead.
even tragic about that? And early in the episode, that guy idolized and loved
Now,
Steve Rogers, Captain America, to
layers,
get murdered by the
layers.
new one.
There's layers to that one moment. So many layers
great
that you could
scene,
peel back from that one moment.
great scene.
It's crazy. So it's just like, first of all, there's going to be repercussions about it being everywhere. It's going to go viral.
Public,
Captain America killed somebody out in the middle of the public, in the middle of public. So there's going to be outrage about that. Second, it justifies. He just justified everything Carly was saying. Everything that Carly was saying, he just justified. Everybody that's against Captain America dies for out of cold blood, right? Dude didn't attack Captain America. Walker. He basically sucker punched him, right? Beat him down and killed him in front of everybody. So yeah, so now I think Walker is actually about to be. I don't know. He can become the protagonist just because they're probably going to take the shield away from him. Just
and
because
that
he,
might be how Sam and Buck get it back.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that it could happen to where that they have they take it back and then they find a way to get it back, but he is going to become a villain somehow because he is the typical. I've been a hero too long now. I'm becoming a villain because I don't get the respect that I deserve.
And not only did he justify Carly, he justified Zemo. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Zemo's watching's like, I knew this was gonna happen.
Yep. 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 And Zemo's just doing his job. He's killing super soldiers, right? Or at
He's
least
like, I
trying
got
to.
number one on the list.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
So that's gonna be I. if Walker, I don't think Walker by the end of this show is gonna die. Because he's gonna be too important later, in my opinion. Um, I know they're not obviously because the MCU never does stick 100% to the books, but he does become valuable later.
Hmm.
As who I've been calling him from the beginning, the U.S. agent, because he realized I'm not good enough to have this real title. I don't deserve this title. I didn't put the work in, so I'm gonna go by something else. I'm still gonna be a government, tool and everything, but
Right.
I'm gonna go with U.S. agent, and I think that's what's gonna happen with him in this. He gonna have to fall back, and he gonna be like a op, back to the good old days. Like I take ops, do stuff like that. He gonna get a different shield. It might even be energy based, like one of his shields was in the comics, which would be dope because
Hmm.
they got the technology in the MCU to have an energy based shield, and that'll be that. So Zemo's fate, that's
Sorry.
more
Okay.
interesting to me about how that's gonna happen later on. Like, will he end up locked up by the end of the show, or is he gonna be free roaming around dancing in clubs all over the world?
Right.
You know, I was thinking Thunderbolts, but I think this might be leading to another supergroup also. Thinking with what Walker did, I'm thinking this might lead towards Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, Squadron Supreme. I
It
think
Mm.
might.
this is what. Yeah, 'cause we all know the two of them have to work with each other, and Zemo's the leader of Squadron Supreme due to working off time,
Right.
time in prison. So I
Right.
think this is how we're gonna get Zemo back.
Both of those teams make sense to me. If we had already introduced Norman Osborn, then I would be thinking Dark Avengers, but we ain't got him yet. So, I mean, just wait.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure we will. But it's so many teams that are pretty much anti-hero or former villain teams in Marvel. That there are options for them, and I agree with you, especially once we get this Black Widow movie, which we won't know nothing until it happens. But Taskmaster,
Yes.
period,
Hmm.
in and of itself,
Hmm.
amazingly dope character. People don't realize how cold he really is.
Hmm.
They just think, oh, he just copy people. Nah, he don't just copy them. He become
Yeah, he
them
learns.
for that
Right.
time period.
Hmm.
So that's another person who done hop back and forth on them two teams we was just talking about. And so uh the possibilities are endless.
It is, and I think that
John
I
Walker.
because I didn't think that they were gonna kill Zemo. I mean, not Zemo, Battlestar. Like that was a surprise for me. Like they just killed him off. Like so anything could happen. Like
I respect that
yeah,
though.
and yeah, anything could happen with Walker now. As far as they could probably just change it up to where he could be a villain or he could just be an anti-hero and work and be a vigilante. You know what I mean, and work on his own. Um, but yeah, we will never know. I guess that's what the next episodes are going to we're going to see. Um, what about how do you think Bucky feels about all this stuff, man? I mean, Bucky is really caught in the middle of all of this stuff. To be honest with you,
Bucky's in a bad way because his loyalty is being tested at all angles.
yeah.
He even though him and Sam don't get along, he's loyal to Sam.
Yeah.
That's his partner.
Well, just because of
And
their Avengers alone.
they're Avengers alone, but plus Steve trusted Sam.
Mm-hmm.
So I trust Sam
Mm-hmm.
because Steve trusted you. But they getting to the point now that Bucky trusts Sam not just because Steve trusts him, but because I've been your partner
Mm-hmm.
and I'm starting to trust you as you. So that's one thing that's pulling them. And then of course loyalty to Steve just in general,
Mm-hmm.
but also his loyalty to the Dora, loyalty to Wakanda because of taking him out of this situation that he was in for roughly 90 years, getting
Mm-hmm.
brainwashed and getting froze and coming out to kill people. So he getting pulled all over the place, at the end of the day. And then he has a understanding of the plight of the flag smashers too. They're super soldiers for all intents and purposes, and they trying to find their way in the world, and he gets that too. So he's just like, I don't know what to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Yeah.
And my
Speaking
whole
of,
life,
Speaking of Steve, and I'm expecting that phone call now since John Walker did that on live internet. So I'm expecting Steve to make that phone call. Like, what'd you do?
Hmm.
What if Steve just came back in a Stark suit? Like, hey, listen, we need to talk.
Well, there's supposed yeah, there's supposed to be a major. There's rumored there's next episode is going to be a major cameo. Um, a lot of people thought it was going to be Black Panther, but I don't think he lived long enough to actually be in the filming of this. So, but there is rumor that there's going to be a major cameo next episode. So it could be anybody from Steve Rogers to Black Widow to well, no, Black Widow can't either. So yeah, it could be anybody, you know.
Well, this is spoiler talk, so technically she can be there.
Oh,
Since since this takes place after the Black Widow prequel, and well, we all know who the new one
right.
is.
But she's dead though. This is after the blip.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
There's a second Black Widow.
Oh,
Who's,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah, this was this. That's why they were having trouble scheduling this
Oh, okay.
because this was supposed to follow Black Widow. So
Oh, okay,
this
okay.
might spoil some parts of the movie. Just saying.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I didn't know that
and
part.
that could be dope because I like old girl. What's her name, Aaron? The actress. I forgot her name. I always call her Paige because she did that Paige movie.
I can't even remember at the top of my head.
Midsommar. Well, I like her. She's pretty good. She when she does a role, she kind of you kind of lose her in the role. Like she was Paige, when
Mhm.
she played in Fighting with My Family. She was that character in Midsommar that
Mhm.
lost their
Florence
mind and all
Pugh.
that. Florence Pugh, yeah. So I look forward to seeing her as B Dub too.
Mhm.
You know, um, and it's so much. I wish that movie would have dropped already. I wish they would have been able to have a theater release like they wanted because it's it's time for Nat to get her flowers, man.
Mhm.
You
Mm.
She
know,
should have got him before. She should have got him before she passed away. But you
yeah,
know,
the character. I agree.
yeah.
I agree. I agree. Because she was literally like the heart of that team.
Mhm.
Her and Hawkeye
Mhm.
because he's the only ones who was invested as just normal human beings.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
still out here.
Mhm.
I got my spy skills and some tasers,
Mhm.
and I got my spy skills and a bow and arrow.
Right.
But we here
Right.
side by side with gods.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know,
But so when well, we'll see who shows up. It'd probably be just be a regular character, like a side character or something like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you know, it's always exciting to see who it is. Like, remember,
it's gonna be happy.
Yeah. My my
It's
three
gonna be happy.
guesses is my three guesses is either Steve Rogers, General Ross, or Black Widow.
really?
Yeah, that's probably gonna show up next week. One of those three.
I could definitely see it being Ross.
I could see it being Fury, Steve Rogers, or we're just gonna say uh Stretch Armstrong. No,
Don't say Mephisto.
no, Mephisto. Yes, it's still Mephisto. No, I think it's gonna be probably somebody that's gonna be either gonna be in a future movie or it's going to be an X-Men or something like that. I'm gonna leave it open that way to where it could be, somebody that's gonna be from the X-Men universe. So um yeah, I'm just gonna leave it open like that. So where do we go from here? What do you think episode
Well,
5 is gonna be like?
Uh, Backlash from Walker killing that dude in public, probably him getting demoted, and that shield getting gave up. Now I don't know whether or not the shield gonna go to Sam and Bucky willingly, or if they're gonna be like, run that, you don't deserve it no more, and that's how they get it. But from what we've seen in these trailers, they had their hands on it for quite some time. They was training with it, so they gotta get it, and I'm thinking it's time for them to finally get it. Um, Carly feels more justified than ever now. She's also gonna be real. She's gonna be real relaxed and with Sam. I feel like in the sense that she's gonna be like, "Hey, I stepped across the line with you, G. My bad. I shouldn't have called your sister and all that." But at the same time, you seen what boy did. This is what I'm talking about.
Like, I
You
told you to
know,
come
so
alone, and you end
yeah.
up killing my dude.
And Sam was like, "Well, you call my sister. Ain't nothing. Ain't no talking no more. I got my suit on and everything."
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So she gonna be more convicted in her mission than ever now. Zemo's in the win, so the next time we see him, it's gonna just be putting a cap in somebody. Period. Like
Mhm.
I don't even think we gonna see Zemo the whole episode until he shows up to kill a super soldier. Period.
Mhm.
You know, he's gonna pop up, pop, pop, pop. He gonna have a mask on and everything. I'm telling you, dog. Like he's gonna come out the blue. They ain't gonna know where he at. We ain't seen the last of the Dora neither. They probably gonna be maybe not a fixture in the next episode, but they definitely gonna be present. So
Right.
um, it's about to be a lot going on in this episode because we only got what, two left.
Yeah, two left. Yeah,
Too
two
left.
left. Um,
Yeah,
TJ just commented. He said he thinks that the cameo is going to be Taskmaster. What do you think about that?
I was considering that because of what we was just talking about, but
Mhm.
we don't know what his fate's gonna be at the end of the last movie, the Widow movie. So it's up in the air. It could go either way. It could be him because he's important. You know,
Only
Steve is one of the people he studied, so he would definitely want that shield too.
the only reason that I wouldn't do it because it would spoil the movie.
Right.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like, oh, he survived. Okay, well, I might as well not even watch it. So that's the
or
only reason.
it could always be who I said it might be.
Okay.
Curtis Jackson. Okay.
Oh man, I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for that.
So if you Google, and not y'all, because y'all already know, fans, listen, if you Google who is the power broker in Marvel Comics, man's name is going to come up. That man's name is Curtis Jackson. That's the name of the character. So why not have Curtis Jackson play Curtis Jackson? Vote now. Send your letters into Marvel and tell them to put 50 Cent on TV
that's
as the Taskmaster.
that's
Do
not
that.
as wild as the other theory that people think that Sharon Carter is the power broker because she's not using an iPhone due to Apple's clause of product placement. You
Mm-hmm.
can't have antagonists use their products.
That makes sense.
Wow.
It's a crazy theory, ain't it?
As
It's a stretch, but it's a crazy theory.
as much
Right.
of a stretch as it is, wow, that is kind of like the other theory where they say he a villain because he swiped his hair with his one hand and all heroes swipe their hair with the other hand. But if you go through, but if you go through film for the past 50 years, there's never been a hero to use their hand to do part their hair. So it's stupid, but
Mhm.
it is one of those things. Now we all know that my power broker theory is a joke. That's probably not gonna happen.
It's a
But
possibility, bro. Like,
if it does though, I'm coming back to this video, the video before this, and I'm dancing because that would be crazy. But the likelihood of that is about zero point zero 0.01.
mhm,
So
mhm.
that's okay. But that iPhone theory, as wild as it is, it
if
has
it turns
legs.
Mhm.
if it turns out to be true and she is the villain, and because she was using the Android phone, the only person in the entire show using Android so far, I'm just gonna look at Apple and be like, what? Really? This we're gonna do things, be really bad
Like,
guys,
you
be
guys
out
had the
here because we
chance.
got Google phones.
I definitely think she works for him. I think she works for him directly too. I feel like she is the power broker's Maria Hill.
Mm.
I feel like she works for, or I keep saying him. I feel like she works for them because we don't know whether it's a guy or a girl. And that could be something big too. Like we touched on last week, the power broker could be a, a pre-established character and introduce them to the world. Like I think I threw out last week that what if it's Electra,
Mhm,
or something
mhm,
like that,
mhm.
because Electra is a big crime boss, in the books and stuff.
Right.
And then we got Squirrels too. It
Yeah.
goes so
In
many
so many
ways, and
ways,
they
man.
all would make sense too.
Yes.
So,
Mhm, mhm.
but I don't think Sharon's the power broker. I think she just worked for him.
Yeah.
I hope that's what it is. Cause I don't.
It's like,
I look,
Like I
yeah.
said, it could be that power worker could be well. It's somebody that's really interested in that serum, and I just don't know who that could be. Only person that like you guys said last time, it could have been oh dude that what's his name, the one that was in charge of the Sokovia Accords, the
oh, Ross.
Ross,
Oh,
yeah,
Ross.
yeah. So um other than that, other than an extra ex Hydra member that isn't alive because I think Bucky got rid of all of them. um, only thing only thing that's the only thing I could think of. But TJ said that um, only reason that he said it was Taskmaster because said that John Walker was trained by Taskmaster in the comic books and to be a part of the Thunderbolts, or and they teamed up to be Thunderbolts when they heard they were going to do a Thunderbolts team up. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do Taskmaster come in this early because of the movie. And maybe later they'll probably do something like that. But bringing in Taskmaster would be a huge mistake because that would be a spoiler that Marvel does not want. Period.
But,
So
but then again, who knows what's going to be in these last two episodes? Because, like I said, Black Widow was originally supposed to drop first,
yeah,
then this show, then
yeah,
just turned to we can't sit on this anymore. So,
right, yeah, yeah, could happen. What do you think,
yeah,
Aaron? Where do you think we go from here?
I think it's going to be knowing Marvel and seeing how their show's been set up. It's probably going to be the fallout in the beginning of the epilogue. I think most of the storylines are going to wrap up right in the next episode, with episode six being like the epilogue, setting up the future stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the big battles and everything will happen episode five.
Okay. Do you think they're gonna continue to use Walker until all of this is over? Like they were like,
Oh,
well, he's too deep in right now to take away the shield from him.
they're going to take away the shield. Then I think they're going to take away the shield, and then they're going to finally ask Sam to take the shield, and he's going to say no. He's like, I don't want it.
Hmm.
Still don't want it. And it's going to take Bucky to convince him
Mm-hmm.
again.
Yeah, cause Bucky been on his head since he first found out. Like, why you he didn't get a shit, and then he gave it to you. What's wrong with you? But
I think Falcon is going to
um,
figure out that he's the best man for the job because he's the only person that's had the coolest head this whole time. Like he's been the only one that's been in his right mind the whole time this situation is going on. He's been reaching across the aisle just like Steve Rogers does to try to let's talk it out, let's figure this out before war happens. He tries to be political. He goes against the grain but still um, questions what he does at the end of the day. So he is every bit a piece of Steve Rogers that Steve Rogers left. Period. You know what I mean? So, but I think that if Steve Rogers does um, show up next week, it's gonna be a private conversation with Falcon and
yeah, it's
maybe
not
with
gonna be
Bucky, but it's
big.
gonna be a private conversation with Falcon. Like, hey, I gave you the shield for a reason, and and I'm gonna tell you every reason why right now. So,
That makes sense.
mm-hmm.
Don't be stupid twice. Take the shield.
Right, yeah, mm-hmm,
So as far as predictions and closing go, got a couple reasonable ones and one that is kind of out there, but it's still a possibility. Simplest cameo, Ross,
mm-hmm,
leading into Thunderbolts. Period. Boom, there it is. Or
right,
Widow,
right,
same thing.
right,
New Black Widow. If you want to go out there, start talking about establishing other stuff, then we get back to what the homie Aaron was talking about last week. Logan. You
mm-hmm,
know, they had already stepped foot in one of his cities.
mm-hmm,
You know, this is a super soldier conflict. Who's one of the first super soldiers, Logan?
mm-hmm,
Because Weapon X was an offshoot of the super soldier program anyway. You
mm-hmm,
know, so if you want to introduce X-Men and say that they already was here, mutants was already here, you just didn't know about them. Boom, our new Logan, whoever it may be.
right,
Um, totally against it being Hugh Jackman. He said he was done, and I think his time is done too.
Mm-hmm.
Need somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
a new Logan. And they could even do it where this guy shows up. Yeah, I got an investment in this. I'm a soldier. Blase splee. This is my specialty. I heal real fast. Blase splee. And never say, or not even say his powers, but he just show up and be a part of everything, and he don't say his name to the very end of the episode. That's how you do a cameo like that.
Right.
But that's the out there cameo. That's like, probably not gonna happen, but that would be dope if they did it. I think it's probably just gonna be Ross or another theory I've seen bouncing around, which is kind of random, but it's also completely possible with the world they're building. Is She-Hulk, and not as She-Hulk, but as her normal self, Jen, being a lawyer, because especially with everything that John's done, now you need a good lawyer. You know, and she could show up and just be a lawyer, and that be it. Not even do nothing or be relative to the story, but be a lawyer. And then you say, okay, well, we know She-Hulk's in this world now, and that be that. So those are theories I've bounced around, but I think it's probably gonna be Ross leading in the Thunderbolts.
We got plenty of lawyers to choose from.
Got Matt,
We
got
got Matt
Jen,
Murdock. We got
but
Jia.
I don't think Matt gonna show up to Spider Man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's gonna
Because that's
represent
all New
somebody there.
York.
Yeah.
He got to represent New York.
Mm-hmm.
Spider Man's a New York hero. Matt's a New York hero. He like, I'm out to look out for this kid from New York. I'm from Hell Kitchen. That's right around the city from where he's, right around the block from where he stay. They very much city heroes. They get into these cosmic events and stuff, but at the end of the day, them
Yeah,
neighborhoods.
those are neighborhood. Those are neighborhood heroes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So, what about the news, Aaron?
Good news. All right. Well, to get real super nerdy, two more Star Trek movies are in pre-production.
Oh
So they
wow.
announced two more Star Trek movies, and J.J. Abrams is attached to produce one of them. So I'm really hoping they go back to the original timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave the Chris Pine ones
Yes.
alone for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
back
One
to the
second.
original
Yeah, I'm gonna
timeline.
go get my kid real quick. I'll be right back, y'all.
All right. To me, do you think that could you see how the Star Trek shows on right now that's running on TV, how they kind of went away? I mean, they're like their own timeline, like they're not using other people's stuff. Do you think that they should just go that route to where they just start fresh?
The Paramount Plus shows, those are actually set in the original timeline. Those are
Mm-hmm.
canon.
Yeah,
So
no, I know they're canon, but I'm like, like
uh,
to bring
yeah,
anybody back.
I don't know. I'm thinking it might be wise because as much as I like some of those Paramount Plus shows, a couple of seasons of Discovery as well as Picard
Mm-hmm.
kind of rubbed me the wrong way. There's some missteps with the shows, and I'm just thinking we went back to the original timeline instead of
Right,
treating it like it's the new Chris Pine Kelvin timeline.
right.
Things. Like some of it worked, some of it
Mm.
didn't. So
I haven't watched
hopefully
those
they'll
shows yet. I watched part of season one, but I got the first Star Wars Discovery, but other than that, I haven't really got into them just because I don't know, they didn't catch me. And the old girl, the main character, kept. I mean, I'm a big Walking Dead fan, so it's like I kept seeing her in that role.
I will I will say this about Discovery. Just keep watching it. Season two, it really picks up. Season
Hmm.
three is just one step back. Season one gets better at the end. Season two is great. Three, one step backwards,
Right,
unfortunately.
right. Okay. So we got two Star Trek movies on the way. One by J.J. Abrams,
Produced by. You don't know if
produced.
he's directing.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Who else? Who will be doing the other one?
They just announced the date for it. That's about it. CBS is trying to get that money for Star Trek as fast as possible.
Okay.
And
Okay.
And while we're on Star Trek news, of course, April 5th was First Contact Day, so they also showed off trailers for season two of Picard,
Yep.
which I'm interested in because Q is back.
Yep. I put that on Facebook. So just go to
Oh
our Facebook
wow.
page. Yep. Put it on our Facebook page or go to our Facebook page to see that trailer. It's there.
Season four of Discovery, she's finally the captain, and they got new uniforms. Yay!
Right.
Lord,
And is this their
Lord,
last season? Or they have one more season after this.
I think they're keeping it going. They
Oh,
got
they're keeping it going.
new
Okay. Okay.
seasons. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's gonna be a five and a six apparently after this.
Right.
Lower decks. from half the writers of Rick and Morty. Season 2 was announced coming out this August.
Okay.
I really
Okay.
like the show. Give it a shot. As
Mm-hmm.
zany as it is, that's also legit Star Trek canon time.
Okay.
So it's pretty
Okay.
interesting in the Rick and Morty style
Okay.
Star
Yeah.
Trek.
And I watched the first episode of Incredible, or not Incredible, Invincible. Isn't that Invincible? Yeah. So I saw that first
How you
episode, so I'm
like
gonna
that
continue watching
ending,
that.
bro?
It was crazy. And just to think, I mean, I didn't think that that show was going to be that I don't know. It's kind of like in the middle of adults and child, not a child's, superhero show. So it's kind of weird to me because I feel like a little kid watching it, but it's it's an adult it's an adult superhero show.
It's because of Invincible's perspective on everything, since he's still a teenager and everything. But I promise you, I don't know too much about where the show's at because I've read these books. I've read
Mm-hmm.
all of those books. I know
Mm-hmm.
how it ends, so I'm not gonna spoil none of that. But
Right.
as it goes on, that kid shit is gonna start doing like this.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It only get that ending was bad. A
Mm-hmm.
spoiler alert to anybody who hasn't seen Invincible. I'm about to spoil the ending of the first episode. All the Justice League parallels die.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Superman parallel kills
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
is not there to be a good guy. He was supposed to be the person sent there to rule that planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a
Whoa,
great scene
whoa,
in
whoa,
the
whoa.
show.
That's, they
Hold
didn't
on.
reveal that yet. They
Yeah.
didn't reveal that
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. You over here spoiling a lot of stuff now.
Spoiler for
I
me.
mean, but I ain't gonna go too deep, much deeper into it now.
Yeah.
But he people die a
Yeah.
lot on that show,
Mm-hmm.
and they die in very violent ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a kiddie show. It's an image comic.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason most of those artists stepped away from Marvel and DC is so they could tell grittier, harder stories.
Yeah.
And it's a great show though.
Right.
Great voice acting. You know, you got great voice actors. It's a lot of characters on that show that are coming or that have already showed up that people are gonna fall in love with.
Mm-hmm.
How many episodes are out of this show right now?
5.
uh, 5 just came out yesterday. I watched that last night, and yeah, one of voice actors is Mahershala Ali. I actually enjoyed him
Yeah.
on last night's episode.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
did
old
Alan the
dude
Alien
from
show up
what's the
yet?
name? Old dude from what's this called? What's his name? From Walking Dead, the Asian guy. He's
Oh,
the main
Steve, yeah,
character. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, he's the main character, isn't he?
yeah. I gotta
Yeah.
give them extra love because the two main characters are actors from Michigan. J.K.
Yes.
Simmons is Omni Man, and
Yep.
Stephen Yeun
Yep.
Invincible.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, at least he gets to redeem himself after getting killed with a baseball bat in Walking Dead.
but but we gotta feel bad for Abraham because if you notice in the first episode, the entire Justice League parallel that group, they're all actors.
Yeah.
They're all the actors from The
Yeah,
Walking
all
Dead,
the actors. Yeah, for Walking Dead.
and
Yeah.
they're all the dead actors
Yes.
too, and they die again.
That's crazy, man. The layers to this stuff, man.
Robert Kirkman.
Wow. Well, okay. So,
So
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, Alan the Alien. Have they introduced Alan the Alien yet? He's just this one-eyed
Yeah,
alien.
yep. Second episode.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen
I'm
that
not
yet.
gonna tell you, I'm not gonna say nothing about Alan the Alien except for by the end of the show he'll probably be your favorite character.
Okay.
That's all I'll say because
Well,
Alan the Alien is amazing.
I would assume because Seth Rogen is voicing him.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
for real? That actually makes a lot of sense
Mm-hmm.
because he's such a silly character, but he's like a goat. Like he like the goat, but he's also funny and hilarious and stuff.
Right.
But Alan the Alien
And he's
is
also producing the show too with Robert Kirkman, Seth Rogen, and Robert Kirkman.
also he just got his superhero money all over the place,
Right.
huh?
Right. Right.
He's like, well, in the meantime, while we waiting for the boys, let me go ahead and throw some money at another superhero franchise outside of Marvel and DC. I like that energy.
Well, yeah. So, any other news before we get into Powerpuff Girls?
um, so far that is about it.
Oh, we ain't talk about the Loki trailer.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
That
okay.
new
Yeah,
Loki trailer that
let's talk
dropped.
about the Loki trailer then. Yeah.
It's not gonna be a lot because we've seen a lot of stuff, but they did unpack a lot of new stuff about the fact that they consider this version of Loki nothing more than a variant, which is the truth, if you talking multiversal. But I do think they follow one universe as the what they would consider the prime universe,
Right.
which I would say is the MCU universe. Or
Mm-hmm.
more importantly, I think it's like what is it, 19999, something like that if you want to get into the numbers. But they call him a variant because that means to me there's more than one of them. We monitor more than one of you. There is more than one of you. You're a specific variant of yourself. And by saying variant of him means that there's variants of other people. So I think that's going to be very important on this particular show, with the events they go to, the missions they take, stuff like that, and how many Lokis are we going to see in this show? You know, how
I
many
think
Lokis?
I think you're only going to see one Loki, but he's going to play himself in every situation.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, how many times is he going to be on screen with himself? Like, how many
Mm.
missions is he going to go against another Loki? For
So
example,
you think it's going to be like Back to the Future, to where he's going to go and see himself?
I think he's going to see himself at least once.
Mm.
yeah,
They,
they
at
actually
least
casted
once.
Lady Loki. They actually got an actress
Yeah,
play
yeah, yeah,
Lady Loki.
yeah. They do. Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
scary. Lady Loki's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous,
Hmm.
scary.
Yeah, I think he's going to go in and they're going to have him right his wrongs. That's going to be his punishment for everything that he has done, and he's about to go in and right every wrong that every other Loki has done, including himself. Um, that's my theory.
Yeah, I think he might be helping Steve because in the trailer it looks like he was on the Soul Planet with Red Skull
Yeah,
in one scene. So I'm like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
uh-oh.
Yeah,
That would
that could
make a
happen
lot of
too.
sense.
I mean,
That would
yeah.
make a lot.
Mm-hmm. He's the only one that can really help, and since I don't know what it takes to give the Soul Stone back, and
Yeah, how do you
that's
give it back?
how do you give it back, right? How do you put it
Exactly.
back to where it was?
Do you just give it to him? Here you go. We don't need
Right.
this no more.
Yeah.
All
But
right. So if he drops the stone, does that mean we get Natalie back?
that's the thing. Like you don't know. Like it's a soul for soul, but what happens to reverse it, right?
That's the question. Yeah, that's a good question too because the reversal of it will probably have its own rules and stuff. But the law, the cosmic law, that's the thing about the MCU or any Marvel thing. Cosmic law is cosmic law, which is why even though I have this infinite power with this gauntlet, Hulk couldn't bring that back
Mm-hmm.
because that's cosmic law. That's above the gauntlet. Even that's when you start talking about the living tribunal and the one above all. Like they say, nope, cosmic law. You have to sacrifice a soul for that stone, and it cannot be reversed.
But
So I
who
don't
made
think
that
even
law?
with one above all, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like like I was saying. But what the thing is like, who made that law, and how did he figure out that law? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it something that was was it something like who the Soul Stone was placed there? Who placed it there, right?
Yeah, no,
And who
these are
made
good
the law
questions.
for it, right? And or who made the rule for it? Is there a cosmic being on that planet that made that rule for that?
That's a good question too, especially considering the nature of that planet. It seems like it exists for nothing but that stone.
Yes, right,
It's because it's devoid of life.
right,
There's nothing there. It's just that mountain and that water
yeah,
and Resco.
mm-hmm,
So and the sacrifice pit
right.
essentially because it's all the ruins and stuff on it. So it's got to be designed solely for the sacrifice.
But also
That's a
that
good
the
question.
stone is designed to be destroyed. I mean, it's designed for power, yes, but it's also designed to be destroyed, right? So after it's destroyed, like it was destroyed by Thanos, what happens to everything that was on that planet? It's like it's a bunch of questions that I guess Loki could probably help out with, because to be honest with you, he goes there and she's already sacrificed. That means it's the timeline that she's in. Soulstone is gone, right? So how does he get to where she's at?
Yeah, it's a tough one with the Soul
Yeah.
Stone because all the other ones it's easy enough to answer because
Mm-hmm.
he's putting them back
but in
right?
different timelines, in their timelines, not in
And
his.
yeah, writing timelines where
They took him
when
from.
they got took. So
Yes.
it's easy to do because he could even interact with them during a mission to say we won,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it, and put it back, and that's that. But with that situation, how do you even give it back? You can't hop in and tell Nat and Clinton not to jump.
Right.
Like it that's gonna be interesting. I hope they do explore that.
Yeah. Because the thing is that Nat is dead in that timeline, right? But
Hmm.
that's that Nat. In that timeline, the Nat that is there, right? In that timeline is still alive.
Right, and not only that, you know who's dead in that timeline? Thanos. That was
Yes.
that timeline's Thanos that got
Yes.
wiped.
Yes.
So it's a whole new ballpark in that world.
Yeah. So yeah, so yeah, it is a whole new ballpark. Yeah, he can't bring her back because she is in a different timeline. That it wasn't because of the soul stone, it's because she's in a different timeline. She died there. She never came back, right? So if she found a way to come back from that timeline, she could be still alive. But
I think we're giving these guys ideas. We
yeah.
need Marvel to cut us a check, man.
That makes cut us a check because that makes perfect sense in the sense that it's something that you just said
Yeah.
that is even the law on the gauntlet in the comic books.
Yeah.
An Infinity Gauntlet only works in its universe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hall could have brought back that, and that's just there in like 2012. Like,
Maybe
guys.
he made the wrong. Maybe he made the wrong request. Maybe he was trying to bring her back to life when he should have been trying to bring her back to universe or back to timeline. That's interesting.
Only thing is that he will pull her from that timeline, right? So in that timeline, there's two nets where she died at, the one that died and the one that's still alive, right? He couldn't pull the one that he wanted because she did die, right, with the soul stone, right? But there was still another net in that timeline, right? So if and I'm getting really deep here, but if what first of all, how did Captain America put that stone back without bringing that net back, right? Because he would see her beforehand and be like, okay, you don't have to do this anymore. Drop the stone in there, but then there'll be two stones. So I don't understand I just don't understand how he gave it back. It's not going to make sense
The only way he could put that stone back without it being two is to let her die. He would have to show up after.
afterwards and then throw it
Yeah,
in.
Hmm.
which is messed up. But if we going on theories about all the stuff he's had to do, it's not
Yeah.
out of character. When it comes to cosmic balance, making the hard
So
play to make sure
so
that
at the end of the
everything
day, you can't bring
stays.
her back then. Yeah, so you can't bring her back because if he returns it, it doesn't mean that she's going to come back. So
Right.
Mhm.
You have to wait to see drops, and then he puts the stuff
yeah.
back. Like,
I want to see him put the ether back in Jane. Did he have to like stab her or something?
but
Like, did he have like for real? Like, did he have that joint in like a syringe?
I
Because you remember,
not now that I'm thinking about it, but that's the thing. Like I don't know. Maybe yeah. Maybe he had to extract her back into her. Maybe he just have her touch it again.
I probably gave
But
it to
aren't
Thor's
they're about to do
mother
a show,
because he
right?
has to return a hammer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're about
Yeah,
to do a
yeah,
show,
he has
right?
to return Thor's hammer too. So,
Yeah. So I think they're doing a show to explain how he did everything. I think that
hmm,
yeah they planned on doing that. So
yep.
yeah, it's gonna be really interesting though, man. Especially returning the Mind Stone. Like, how the fuck is that gonna happen? Well, does he? No, he doesn't have to return the Mind Stone, right? Because that's on
He
our
has to
Earth.
return all of them. No, those are he has to return all of them to their proper timelines. He got three of them from the
But the
'70s.
Mind Stone was
So
from our timeline.
the Mind Stone, no, that was destroyed.
Hmm.
Thanos destroyed that one. They took that one from the '70s. So that was an alternate
Oh
timeline.
yeah. Forgot. Okay. Yeah. So he had to return that one too. But those would be easy to return. But that's
Yep,
probably
that's
where
their
he
time
left.
in
That's probably
waterfall.
where he decided to stay. He returned that one last and decided to stay and met her at that base
Hmm.
where he saw her. So, well, yeah. Um, that's this Loki thing is gonna be really crazy, man. I think. And these are the Time Masters or the Watchers,
The TVA, Time
yeah,
Variant Agency.
but they work for the Watchers, right?
Nah, the Watchers essentially work for them because the Watchers don't do nothing. They're not supposed to, at least. Watu always break that rule, but they don't do nothing but watch and report. They watch and document. That's all they're supposed to do. So sometimes the time variant agency will get information from them or
Ah,
collect
okay.
just so they can do. But they're the ones who go and police stuff. They
Yeah,
go
because I
do stuff.
remember in the comic books in the which one is it called? The Illuminati, right? First issue. The Time Watcher came and was like, "Hey, you guys not supposed to have the because they had the gauntlets. They had all the mind stones and who
They do.
was it? Reed Richards that touched it and then disintegrated or whatever from it. In that first issue, I think it
It
was Reed
might have been
Richards
Reed.
and
Reed was
Yeah,
on
it's like it's
team.
great.
yeah. So, but yeah, he came and it was like, yeah, you guys, this is not supposed to happen. You guys are not supposed to have this, whatever, in the Illuminati. So, I know that they can come off their station and step in when they can, at least from in the comic books. And remember, they showed them in what movie was it after Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with
Yeah, he showed up
Yeah,
funny
during
cut.
the time jump, yeah,
yeah,
when they or during the space jump when
the
they
space jump,
Rocket
yeah,
had all them hundreds of jumps back to
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, which is very interesting. But yeah, I think Loki's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be hard to predict Loki just because of I think it's gonna be episode to episode type deal, to where it's gonna be like each episode is it's gonna be like a what's it called, like Law and Order or something like that, to where it's like each episode it doesn't really have a timeline. It just has like a beginning and the end. The next episode it's where it starts and the ends. So
Quantum
so
leap it.
right, exactly. Yeah, since he was stuck in that kind of universe anyway in Thor Ragnarok, might as well quantum leap it. All right. All right. So let's talk about Martez's favorite show, Powerpuff Girls.
So listen, I'm not against this. I'm not against it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not against it. I just want to make sure that we can avoid certain things as a society, like the whole lowly thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember this show isn't greenlit yet. They're starting it. They're gonna see if it work out to see if they want to greenlight it, but most likely it's gonna be greenlit because they know they're gonna get at least day one
Well,
ratings.
I thought they got a full season pickup already.
No,
CW picked them up.
it's still in development. They haven't greenlit it yet. They
Let's see.
yeah. That's
I just don't want it to get strange. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Like that kind of strange,
Mm-hmm.
because what these characters were and what they represent. I get that they're older now, and that's cool. And the screenshot that we seen of them on set with the dresses, I think that's gonna be a one episode thing.
Yeah,
They're gonna
yeah.
have them on for that episode just to establish that these are the characters, and you will probably never see them in that stuff again for the rest of the show.
To be
And I'm cool with that too.
yeah, I think it's probably gonna be like a. I think it's either gonna be like a flashback, or it's gonna be like a oh they need our help. Let's get our costumes. They were like no, these costumes not gonna work anymore.
Yeah, I
Something
think it's
like
just a
that.
yeah, I think it's a flashback. Probably their final battle went bad, and next thing you know, jumps to them in college and everything, not talking to each other. CW type deals.
Right. What do you think about Professor? I mean, we talked about that last week, right? The
Yeah,
the
Donald
cast
Faison.
Donald Faison,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Uh,
Sodium.
yeah, they got Jojo or and yeah, this guy right here. That's Majojo, Mr. or yeah, Majojo Jojo.
Jojo.
So, what do you think, Tess? You see him?
I'm pulling them up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, like Tez, I care about him. Who they get plays him.
Yes. At least they didn't cast him wrong. I mean, I don't know who the kid is, but
Let's see.
he looks like old dude's son, the the Australian guy, the crocodile son.
Oh, Steve Irwin.
Yeah, Steve Owen. Yeah.
Uh, what? Like he don't even look like he sound right. I mean, maybe he a good voice actor. I don't know because at the end of the day, I seriously doubt they're gonna have him with fur and the green makeup.
You don't
What
think he's gonna
about
be live action?
I sincerely doubt it. I hope not because you can't do Gorilla Grodd live action. It's the
No, you
same
Unless
couldn't.
thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
unless Mojo Jojo dumps himself to a human body.
That is completely possible,
Yeah.
considering that is completely possible. But if you do, that's the body you chose.
Well, if he's trying to punk the Powerpuff Girls and get involved with them, this is a CW show. So let's think of Mojo Jojo secretly dating one of the Powerpuff Girls.
or or
That's legit.
or they use him as like the annoying villain that comes in and tries to do something but ends up working with them, right? Just because he's smart
The
and
question
he's going to be the
comes though:
brains,
does he lose his speech pattern? Because there's no way he can hide that.
right?
If some random human just walk coming to them, hello, hello, how are you? My name is Joe is my name. My name is Joe. They were like, this Mojo Jojo, he just human somehow. I don't know how he did it, but or is he just some smooth, suave tuxedo mask sounding dude? Nah,
Right. Yeah, they actually showed the house too. They just showed a real boxy house on it. You could probably look it up. I could probably send a link, but they still got the red door. They got the. It looks like it's real boxy and everything. It looks very modern. So uh, they're trying their best. I say they're trying their best to try to keep it as canon as possible. It's just a real stretch that they're actually going to be doing like they're teenagers or college students or something like that. You know how CW is. These people are like 40 years old and they're playing teenagers. So, you know, it
it's
Hey,
doable. It's
yeah.
just you gotta be careful.
Mhm.
Because they done already messed up one time.
Mhm.
Very, very recently, okay,
Mhm.
with Charmed.
Mhm.
So they got to be careful, man, because this could be the the straw to break the camel's back, man.
Right. All right. Well, anything else? You guys got anything else before we sign off?
yeah, PSA, please remember, download your shit. Excuse my language. Download your stuff off of PS3
Mm.
and your PS Vita and PSP before those servers go down.
Oh,
Once
no.
it's gone, it's gone.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You
Forever.
guys don't want to lose that stuff. And emulators going to take you so far. Even though I don't endorse it, I use it. All right, I'll see you guys later. That's the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching. We do have our own Facebook now. I have converted the YouTube for Saturday Morning Serial. Um, like us on if you like what you're watching, like us on Facebook. Comment on the Facebook Live. You could comment on the YouTube video. Let us know how you guys felt about last episode of Falcon Winter Soldier or anything else that you guys want us to talk about. Remember, we're going to be here live Saturday morning, every day on Facebook or every Saturday morning on Facebook and YouTube. And then just make sure that you guys tune in and share the Facebook with your friends and family if they're interested in any type of nerdy stuff, and even if they're not, maybe they need some more understanding about all these Marvel stuff or Falcon Winter Soldier or whatever. We do really good breakdowns and really try to break it down for the in layman terms for people. So thank you guys for watching. This is Mr. Also. Martez, you want to give them your socials?
For sure, this is your boy Tiz, aka Dark Morpheus ASMR. Go check him out. If you want some relaxation, want to hear some role plays. Other than that, big ups, shout out once again, rest in peace, DMX. Go support
Recipes.
him and his family on all the streaming platforms. Because they can use the support. Other than that, have a good one, y'all.
What about you, Aaron? Your socials?
Yeah, you can catch me Twitter AVH313 and on Twitch Phoenix _Force 313.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. See you next week.